Hello.
Hello, Lee.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, net disconnected.
I said, can I see what race he is?
Uh, Not from a current glance. Let me just double check my own bits here. Get rid of that, and that. Weird. You can't see from the current glance, no. Do you attempt to pry?
Yes.
What do you say, Udu?
I'm just gonna look at him blankly for a minute, and then I'm just gonna say, "Are you an ASMR?"
What? No. Why do you ask?
I want to insight check that answer.
Go for it. Ooh. He is not.
Okay.
0%.
0%. Okay. Just checking.
Should I be worried about that and the woman in the mask people?
I would just be careful if you know of any ASMRs.
Because
From
Ace.
what one of my acquaintances has said that they are not particularly safe in society. So I was just checking to see whether you had wings or anything.
So what you're saying is you care about me now?
I turn away and I leave.
That's a yes.
No.
So as you walk away, he doesn't say anything, but you know he's feeling smug, and you can tell. Just like, ha, I got it.
Everyone here is the worst. I'm going back to my brothel.
You
Okay.
too old to be hiding your feelings like this.
I'm old, I don't have feelings. I'm so old, I have outgrown feelings, I don't have them any longer.
Yeah.
That's what they all
You
say.
don't know what's going on, you're not here.
You're not here, you're not my mom.
You're way too young to be my mom.
I'm here.
You've
to
met
live
my
with you.
mom, she's a bitch.
I am your new mother.
Can't do much worse than the real one.
So,
She was a hot bitch though.
a couple of minutes go by. Those of you already in the cellar, you get there, you mention to the others, blah blah blah, come here, otherwise we're all fucked. Those of you not in the cellar, cough cough Trafalgar Astari, you begin your slow march back. Obviously, one of you is invisible, the other one gingerly starts to turn the corner. You see that the majority of the figures have already ran off into the distance. One of them is like lurking around the corner, looking around. You see as he walks toward the bar that he takes down his hood, he pulls off the mask and hides it beneath his clothes.
No!
And as he walks into the bar, that's
Oh, we
obviously
were right to hide.
the best you can see of that. You don't know where the rest of the figures are though. They seem to have just ran off. So, what do you and Trafalgar want to do?
I obviously cannot see Trafalgar, but if he did want me to end the spell, he can see me. Can he just ask me to end it if he wanted that? But he also might not want that.
End me.
And me.
Misery.
No. The guy who's just gone into the bar,
Yes.
did we manage to get a decent enough look at his face that we'll recognise him? we
You
go
got
in?
kind of a corner look, but make a perception check, you two.
Oh god.
Oof. From the distance and the angle, it's tough to see exactly. And by the time he pulled off his mask, you could just about see the bottom left corner of his jaw and a little bit of his mouth. But he had very darker toned skin, which is vaguely something to tell on. He had very short hair as well. But beyond that, there isn't much you can tell beyond the black cloak, which he might take off as well anyway. What do you do?
Is the bouncer around? Is he inside?
He is nowhere inside, surprisingly.
Shocking.
And I want to keep messaging them from the basement just to like make sure that they're on
Every
the
2
right
seconds,
kind of
you guys are
track.
like, every 2 seconds, you guys get like, "Hey, yo,
Hey,
guys, where are you? What's happening? Hey, listen,
You
hey."
you're
She's
good.
turned into an
Come
average.
watch me and Brewen have sex.
Hey, that was just a front. I want to message them to say that the be sly about it, but the bartender knows that you're meeting us. So ask him. I don't know. Ask him where the back room is, and you were told to knock 3 times. There you go.
Is there anyone else around?
Outside in the alleyway, no, just you and the invisible remnants of Trafalgar.
Okay, I'll whisper. Trafalgar, are we going in?
I think we need to.
Okay. I will enter the bar
Okay.
and like, fully like open the door like excessively so that hopefully Trafalgar also gets time to go in invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both wander in. As you walk in, it's the same scenery by the look of it. What do you want to do?
So, following Anessa's instructions, I will. Well, first, I'd like to look around to see if we can see the bouncer.
Okay. Perception check.
Yeah. Well, I want to see if we can see the bouncer or the guy that removed his mask.
Go for it. Perception.
Yeah. Come on, please be good.
So the bouncer is nowhere in sight. You're not sure where he went exactly. Doesn't seem to really be any signs of him even coming in here. But as for the guy who took off his mask, you don't see him, but you do see what looks to be a black cloak that's been draped over one of the tables in the middle of the room, with a seat that has been pulled back that someone sat on at some point. You look around the room, you look at the bar first, expecting maybe he's gone over there for a drink to blend in, but you don't see him. You look around, you see a couple of people with like darker skin, like short hair, of different general appearances. There's about 4 in total. It could be any of them, or maybe none of them.
Then I'm gonna whisper to Estari. You should speak to the barman. I'll hang back and see if anyone reacts.
I'll nod and go up to the barman.
So you walk up. He's sat there, arms rested on the counter side, head kind of looking down at the table for a moment, and then his eyes drift up slowly. Looks to you, gets back into a straightened position. You just hear the cracking of his bones as he's like lining back into place. And just go, "Ugh. Hello."
Hashtag relatable.
I know, right? I was thinking that.
Sorry.
Business casual, back to normal. Yep. How can I help?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
to
wait. You're the one who was with the And then he kind of points behind himself. You don't
the
really.
back room.
Well, I was on about tails, but alright, that makes
Oh.
more sense.
Tails,
Appendages.
legs.
Same thing to
Body.
me, honestly.
What?
Sorry.
What
was
did he say?
You don't
All
know.
the same to him.
No.
Oh.
I
You
was
don't
going,
give a shit.
I was going to wave my arms in a leg-like way, sexily. That's how I picture you, but I don't need to at this point. I don't do it.
Wave your legs sexily.
No, my arms as though they were my extra legs. I can't wave my legs sexily, obviously.
I mean,
I'm
you
not a
could, but-
fool.
She suddenly becomes a snake and just like slithers.
But no, I don't do it. That would draw unnecessary attention. So I'll be like, so it's just knock 3 times, I believe.
Pardon me for just assuming here, but you don't really strike me as the backdoor hanky-panky kind, but alright.
I can tell her. But
Appearances can be deceiving, my good sir.
squish your boobs, squish your boobs.
I'll just smile at him.
Well, anyway, there's not more of you, is there?
Oh, there might be another coming, but I'm not sure if he'll make it. But
Coming, haha.
he might miss the show at this rate.
No,
Yeah,
no.
well, I don't need any visuals. Just go. Well, just let your friend know this isn't a club. Just go. Just go. And then he opens up the hatch.
Hey, if
Thank
he had
you,
been
thank you.
invited, he would have a very different opinion of this.
Disappointment, probably.
He's just arsy about it. 'Cause he got excluded. He was so keen to go. He was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so I have no idea if Trafalgar's following me or not, but I will go through the door.
Okay, so you make your way down as well. As Trafalgar is still looking around, there are 2 people out of the 4 that do look over Asatari's way. One of them's kind of like a just glance, the other one's a like long stare. And you're not sure if it's a long stare because Asatari, or if it's a long stare because of intention. What do you do?
I keep waiting, and then the next one of them 2 that goes to the barman and has a seemingly long or very short conversation. I'm gonna. Well, we'll see.
You notice the one that kind of just looked for a moment and then carried on is sat on a table that's just opposite the one with the black cloak. He's currently surrounded by a couple of people, none of which look familiar. They maybe were here earlier, but you don't take that much of a stock of these people. The other one that took a long stare, however, is like sat on one of the tables that's a little bit closer to the bar. There's another table in between that and the bar, though. And he's currently sat there on his own, leg kicked up onto the table. What looks to be a small short sword jammed into the side of the table in front of him so that he can grab it, pull it out of the table and slash at someone in front of him if he wanted. He's currently like rested against the wall and just looking around. And after she disappears off, his attention turns to other women in the bar. But as Asatari goes downstairs, the doors open. You 2 hear the sounds of the doors creaking, and you turn and look, and there's that moment of suspense where it's like, quick, kill it with magic! But no, you see Asatari, of course. Looking probably confused?
I just motion to come in. Is Trafalgar with you?
And I'll just say, Trafalgar, and I assume I'm met with silence, and I'll say, is still in the bar, invisible.
I'll message Trafalgar to say, gonna ask if there's anyone suspicious up there, and I can't remember if he can reply to me or not, but anyone dodgy looking, keep an eye out.
Can I
Can-
reply to message?
You can reply in a whisper.
I got my eye on two people. They seem a little bit dodgy. Maybe one's trying a bit too hard to look casual.
Okay. I'll check in every, like, minute or so. Just be like, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. So then he can reply to me and let me know if he needs any help. I'm gonna try and message Lycoris again to see if she's in range yet.
Nope.
I'm just like, la 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 la.
Oh, what a day.
What do we do now?
I'm not a thinking person.
Neither am I.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm going to ask. Brewin. I went blank. I'm going to ask Brewin if you know who those people were. Why did they want him?
I've heard his sob story when he was gonna jump off the bridge, so I already know.
Okay, so you're asking me this right now.
Uh huh.
How are you asking me? Are you just straight out side-eyeing me, or are you
What
just...
the fuck was that? Who the fuck are they?
I want to know how they knew who you were. Like,
Rod's interrogating him now. How did they know you?
you came in with your special ring. How did they know you were here?
Owen lets out a sigh and just says, "It's my fault really for being, well, more laid back than I should have been." Right. He'll look to Anessa and just say, "Do you remember why I'm very cautious about or how I talk to people? And why I've always wore a hood?"
Because you might accidentally be a dick.
Accidentally.
I just look at him. I'm still not impressed it was Saki to me when I just stared his ass.
Brewin just shrugs with his arms and just say, "Look, you may or may not be right. When your entire existence, unlike yourself, is seen as a fourth of a new coming, and that your race must be sacrificed to bring back the age of gods coming back into the universe. I'm not exactly, well, the kind, overly singing, praising kind of person. But yes, to give you a bit more dialogue to this, those people with the hoods, with the knives, with the spellcasting, and the obsession with me, that I'm not really keen on, by the way, are known as the Cult of the Apex. They are, from somewhat the information that I've known by through living around them, not by choice, by the way, they are a faith/cult hell-bent on bringing back gods into the universe, and they found/think the method of bringing back gods into the universe are sacrificing ASMRs or conducting experiments on ways of how to, bring about gods, because they feel that ASMR are pretty much to people very much close to being related to gods the most. Because, the wings.
I'm going to look at Esatari and just say, well, he certainly thinks a lot about himself. Close to
I-
gods.
I think he's been through quite a lot about it. It's Don't upset him. We don't want another bridge incident.
Brewin coughs just as you two are whispering to each other. I'll look to Anessa. Right, to put it very simply, people are after me because of the race that I am. They want to either kill me or use me as the somewhat form of a martyr.
It's why he broods so much.
Well, we got you out of there. Saved your ace. What's next? Do we need to go and hunt down these people? I felt like we just weren't prepared enough to deal with them at that time, and I wanted to.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah, I wanted to know if that was something that you wanted to engage with or not, because it would be a bit shit if we wiped them all out and then you were like, oh, by the way.
Mate was my bro.
You do know as well that you've never seen them collect that in such an abundance before. You've been aggressed on them by them before in like forms of, you know, hired assassins and maybe a merc or two every now and again that recognises your face, and they've been told if they see this person, drag them in, but they've never shown aggression in the form of a multitude of people of faith. You're more than aware that they've coerced, they've purchased people, they've dragged people into their faith without their choice before, but you've never seen them be so foolhardy to send people that can identify them as the Apex Faith before. They are more than known as being a little bit overzealous in their faith, but they've always kept a visual to the outside world as, sure, we're a bit weird, we love our form of religion a bit too much, but we wouldn't harm someone. And given that they just did a massive uproar, full-scale assault on you, an ambush, that, though it failed, it still happened. That's just not something they do unless they have control enough on information to hide that fact, or they thought they were guaranteed to collect their target. Either way, it's a bit worrying that there was so many in Ghastodn's high town, none the least. So there could be a chance that they have a base nearby. But yeah, there's that for you.
Which Brewin will just say, oh yes, as broody as I can be, I'm broody for a reason. It is somewhat very draining to hide myself on a daily basis and will not get caught. But aside from that, the fact that they gathered this many people chanting about the faith is very unorthodox. They either play it a lot more smartly, hire mercenaries or assassins, or they go through a local source of information network, if you will, and go about it more cleverly. I've never been full on ambushed before. And
As you.
there's one thing that I'm probably going to need to confirm. Is who is this client that Trafalgar's been hired by? Because as I said before, I'm still not fully convinced on who he is and what he works for. He could pretty much sell me out without a care whatsoever if there's the coin, and unfortunately, the Apex Faith being the faith that they are and having quite the vast network of connections and people in the faith, gathering coin for someone to just trade me in is something that they can do very easily. I trust you two. Lakaris could probably have a motive to sell me off if she felt that she was pissed enough with me, or oh hell, if she felt there was another motive that benefited her, but for the utmost I trust you two.
I
I should think so after we got you out of there.
Of course, but if there is a point where I feel I'm not trusting around everyone, I may have to leave you two.
Well, be upfront and honest with us, and we'll be upfront and honest with you.
Of course. Please, be understanding of why I've not been so honest so far. As if someone has seen me, and the fact that they've ambushed me like that, someone's probably confirmed who I am, what I look like, and actually gone ahead and sent a message to the Apex Faith themselves.
Well, they know what you look like. Do you know if they can sense your presence?
I have no idea. My old man just simply said if I was to venture off, keep my head low, keep my stays as short as possible, and to keep communication with people as little as possible. Unfortunately, I broke the last clause of which he asked of me to do.
Well, would you think that perhaps a disguise might help?
Preferably, yes.
I want to spend some time trying to disguise them. I got a disguise kit, bitches.
Okay.
Which Brewen will also note on the fact that you said about tracing. Not sure on tracing, but I'll sort of like unbutton the shirt a little bit and be like,
Oh,
not sure whether
Bartka,
these
wow,
marks
wow.
are- not
No.
sure.
Hey,
Brandings.
hey! I know we came down here. That was a story. That was just so we wouldn't come down as well.
We're just getting to the good bit.
Brewen raises his eyebrows. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Brewen will just say, oh, if you're still thinking about what happened back at the bar, that was just to help entice us to getting into the cellar.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty wide-eyed at this point, wondering what went down.
Brewen was like, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, but
Just come on. Just keep going. Come on.
and at this point,
Run down
Brewen's off. Anyways, not sure if these markings are magically branded or not, or whether they have the means to track me through them, but yes, these markings, there is a chance they could be magical. Never had the chance to, well, have them researched over.
Well, I'm not sure if I'll be much help, but can I take a look at them and see if there's any kind of way that they could trace them or anything? I feel like I probably won't know enough about it, but I'm gonna try.
I am a researcher, if that is any help.
Well,
Probably not.
I can have a go for the magic side, you can have a go for the research side.
So, as the
Analyze.
two ladies inspect his body, head to toe.
Hands on
Mm.
chest.
Now you're making mistakes.
Hey man, I had full intention. So as you two inspect. Hi,
You
baby.
find nothing and you will die.
Yes, apparently you will find nothing and die. There you go. That's Jake. Jake said you would find nothing and die.
Hey,
Sorry,
we nearly
out of my
did.
hands.
You find nothing and die. That's a bit of an insult to Brewen.
Oh, ooh.
So you open the chest, you find the void, go crazy and die.
Well, we're
Which, that's my
opening
next plan.
his chest right now, so is there a void in there?
Yeah,
could
it's
be.
called his heart.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, Connor. It was served up to me on a platter. I'm sorry, I don't mean it.
Your character's not even there.
Unnecessary.
Anyway, I want to check the markings, and then I want to see if I can make him a nice disguise.
What? I'm not gonna order something I can't eat.
I think that should help.
I'm not that hungry.
You're a pretty girl.
Oh, I could make him a woman.
Sorry.
I don't know if my
Finally.
disguise kit it is
The
that
ideal
good.
man.
If I roll high, I can make him a woman.
Well, certainly can make him look a bit close to what
Oh, if I do a minor illusion as well, every minute.
I was going to say. I'd
For
have
all
to keep
time.
reading. Yeah, for the rest of the time.
Minor
We can
illusion check.
both spam minor illusion.
Yes. We'll just make it like different size of breasts.
Oh my god. So yeah, as the pair of you inspect, there's no definitive that you can come up with. These, the writings and markings along his body are celestial in nature, though it's more because it's based around divination magic. There's nothing that you can confirm that says that it's something that can be cast to find him wherever he is. It's writing that usually you write on inanimate objects, books, and those kind of things. So on a person, sure, it's plausible, but there's nothing that you can think of that says it's a definite. Though
Okay.
there is a identify spell that can tell you for certain.
I don't think I have my.
I do not have identify.
What level is it?
As
I have
the
wizard
first,
spells.
you
Yeah,
do,
you got
do.
wizard spells. You got it.
Identify it, please.
Okay. So you like finger tap, touch the markings, and you see as you tap the markings that all of a sudden they all light up.
Uh-oh.
All
Just
across
told them I should come.
all across his body, it lights up with this quick hit of red. And Connor, you take 1 point of damage, as there's almost like this beacon of light that bursts from him for a moment and fills the room with this bright white and red light. And after that finishes, Connor falls to a knee to the ground, and you feel this full body like warmth. You boil for a second.
Leech
Um,
will be too. Please fall.
I said you could. You also
Did say
learn.
wouldn't kill him.
You also learn that it is a way to identify who, what, and where he is. The only problem is it has a low radius, and it's how do I explain this? Essentially, only someone with the appropriate item that who is casting it constantly, while in a certain radius of him, can find him. So, as long as whoever possesses that item that's linked to these markings is not nearby, they won't find him. But if that person's nearby and they use it, they'll find him instantly. He won't be able to hide, it won't matter how he looks, they'll know where, who, and what he is.
Ah.
I'll say it's a good thing that you the one who rescued him rather than me, because the dude had that thing.
Yeah,
It would have
you'd
been
be
bad
like,
just being
"Hey."
invisible wouldn't have done much good.
Do me or pretty lady know anything that might interfere with that? I don't know if there's anything.
There is. There's two options. Firstly, though technically you don't have it, which unfortunate, there is dispel magic.
Ah, I could have had it.
I have dispel magic.
Now then, you can do it. The other more gruesome option is cut a part of his flesh where the marking is, and let it scar, and it completely
But
ruins the
they're
entire
all
ritual.
over, right?
hmm As long as there's a part of the markings where it's completely cut off from one part to the other. So, like, if the entire thing was a line, as long as there were two sections that were cut, front or back, up or down. Anyway,
Ooh, hey, that guy doesn't know what we're doing down here, so
No,
like, he
kinky.
said we can make as much noise as we want, so if he wants them cutting out, we'll offer the suggestion to him. Would you like to is dispel magic a temporary thing, or is it?
no.
Oh, would you like to spell magic, or would you like us to cut you?
I will say though, more than anything, this is more just for future reference. If he ever does get captured again, they can just renew whatever spell it was on him while he's still got the
Yes.
markings.
Okay.
But if we cut him,
If you
it's all good.
But if they capture him, they can just, mark him again, I
They-
assume.
But they would have to do the markings, wouldn't they? Rather
They
than
would
just-
have to perform a ritual to redo it.
Which is a ball ache and a half, so, you
Mhm.
know, they might not bother.
I think they would bother, but it would maybe take more time.
And in that time, we can save him, it's all good. It buys us more time. Can we cut you, please?
You just want to cut him.
Uh-huh.
Everyone at this point looking very fucking worried. Just like, looks to Anessa and just says, "You look all too keen for this."
She licks the lips.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Raywin just
For your own good.
inhales and exhales and... Right, 1 second, I just need to check something. Lee, is there a chair down?
Oh, yeah.
Outside of it, by any chance?
Yeah, there's a small handful.
Come on, this would be such a good scene in the film.
Raywin just sits on the chair, sort of like turns his back and just takes his shirt off and just puts the scarf round, sort of like bites onto it,
Yeah.
and it just points at his back and just grips the chair, just tensing himself.
Okay. So.
I'm gonna get my dagger,
I was gonna say, this is on you.
Mhm.
and I'm gonna just lean over and just whisper in his ear, I'll be gentle.
Mhm.
And then I'll just start going, and just carving him.
Make a sleight of hand check, more to determine if you do dice damage or singular damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh!
So,
So I use my
That's-
inspiration.
sure. So
Uh,
roll
it'll
it
work.
with advantage.
Ah, it's still bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So as you press the blade lightly to the skin, the cold steel on your back leaves you with little bits of goosebumps for a moment, and then it presses slowly into the skin, and you can already feel the pain, and you start gripping on the chair, biting down into the scarf, and as the blade starts to draw along the back, you notice, though he's not very bulky physically, there is enough muscle in his back anyway that the blade is resisting a little bit, and you're trying to do that mixture between cutting and tearing of the flesh to separate the markings, as well as resisting, and it's a bit tough, and you're slicing very slowly. Make an attack with your dagger. We'll only be focusing on the damage. Okay. So 2 piercing to start.
I'm rolling so shit.
That's good.
I mean, that's a good shit roll, but you know.
So you get through 1/4 of the skin, and then you continue tearing along. Make another sleight of hand.
She's really enjoying this.
See that it's going badly and assist her in any way.
15! That was nearly a 4, I saw it roll.
Okay, so this time, it's as you're getting used to the movement of the body and dragging of the knife, the resistance, this time you give a slight quicker slice, enough to tear a layer of skin so that the marking is faded from the skin. Gonna take 1 more point of damage.
1 more point of damage.
Yes. And as you're halfway across the back by this point, the skin is getting very red, and he is boiling up from the tension of the pain and gripping lightly. You hear a slight cracking and crunching of the chair as it's being nails chalkboarded into. And continue with another sleight of hand.
I'm just saying things to make him feel uncomfortable.
What are you saying?
You like that?
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Weirdly enough, the skin doesn't resist as much, but you're not sure if
Yay.
that's because he's creeped out or turned on. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh, in your mind it's he's turned on.
yeah.
And so, Connor, 1 more point of damage. And one last sleight of hand check, please.
Sorry, it's been really slow. No!
Okay, and so the most parts of it up until this point have been relatively easy, and as you're like teasing, and the skin feels easier to tear through, and you continue with that, and then at a certain point it like just hardens giggity, and is resistant to it a little bit more. So you have to put more force in, and for the last part, you kind of like cleave the skin in a sweep. Roll a dagger attack. This will be +1.
Dagger.
Oof.
Oh,
Another 5 piercing, or slashing technically. And as the
give him a
blade
slap
is,
on the back.
oh, that's just rude.
I take 5 slashing, yeah?
Yes.
Oh,
And as it carves across your back, you're just there, like full. You've cracked the wood by this point of the chair's backrest, and bitten into the scarf, and you can almost taste it on your tongue, and you feel as if you feel her get to the furthest end of your back, and as it cleaves past, though you're in severe pain, there's this small bit of enjoyment as you feel something leave your body, as if something that's been clinging to you. And for those of you behind him, as you finish the last marking, you see the rest of the mark turns a duller black colour along his back, and the entirety all across his body turns into a slightly grey colour, as if it's been dispelled. And then, as that finishes, you each hear the sounds of the doors above you opening up, and you hear footsteps coming down. For a second, as you look out and you say that, the doors just behind you open up, and as you're looking forward,
I want to throw one of my little cloaks. I've got a fine robe on my back, and I'm gonna throw that over his back. So
I was gonna say, I guess he's no longer invisible at this point.
Hmm?
Or is he still?
well, that would be a bit weird.
It would be weird if he was still invisible.
No, I dropped invisibility on him.
Okay.
He got down.
so you throw a cloak
Just
over
out of sight.
your dear ASMR friend. As the door opens up, you see the bartender as he walks in and looks around for a moment,
I'm hiding my dagger behind my back.
just kind of looks towards you as if he saw it, and then he just shakes his head a little bit, and you just hear him mumbling to himself, "No, ask, I don't care, don't need to say anything." Picks up a barrel, carrying on, don't mind me, hope that wasn't blood I just saw. And then he walks out, closes the door behind him. You just hear him
I
walk
lick
back
some
upstairs.
blood off my finger as he walks out. It's like, yum.
So,
Nice.
Rachel, as you are walking the streets, you get to a crossroads where you can see the hangman's fingers off in the distance, and you can see the exit to Hightown. Which do you choose? Rachel,
Rachel,
you noted. Hello.
have I heard anything from anyone at this point?
No, but you do see what looks to be a small group of men with black cloaks go running by. They don't have masks on or anything though. They go running past you to the right, kind of like off in that general direction. And they look like they're in quite a hurry, and some of them have like little like scrapes along their faces. They look like they're worn from time more than recent, but then you notice spatterings of blood along the bottoms of the capes of some of them. And they go rushing off into the busy streets.
Are they going in the direction of the pub?
No, they're going completely opposite, more to where you just came from.
I'm just gonna look around and start walking towards the exit to Hightown, but I'm gonna walk slower
Mhm.
and just keep an eye out on everything around me.
Okay.
Because I don't know of this other pub, do I? Because
No.
No.
I wasn't there.
Nope.
So unless I've heard from them, I'm going back to the brothel.
Well, I was gonna be messaging you. I would have taken a break throughout that whole ordeal, but I was gonna keep messaging
Mhm.
since it's a cantrip. I can just keep messaging and see whenever she's in range and messaging Trafalgar to see if anything's happening upstairs.
So, as Anessa, roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Oh, I'm pretty intelligent. It's better to be good. It's not that bad.
Okay. So through the whole process, you're a bit distracted, of course. By the end of it, the guy comes in, walks back out, barrel in hand. You and the others are sat there for a moment, and then you get a quick thought, like, "Oh, quick! Gotta send a message." You send the message. For you, Lycoris, as you're walking the streets, you're walking a little bit slower. You see the exit, barely like 60 feet away. The town, a couple of people running around town still. Everyone glaring at you as you're walking by, of course. You see maybe one or two more black-robed figures, though they seem to be coming into town. So they don't. You're not sure if it's just coincidence or if they are related or what. But then you hear in the back of your head someone say your name, and then you kind of stop for a second and you look around. Anessa, what message do you send? As it connects as she stops.
Hello, Lycoris. Don't even know if she's in town. Maybe she's run off and left us. If you can hear me, we are at the pub. Not your pub, another pub. What's the name of the pub?
Hangman's Fingers.
That one. Come to the basement. I'm only gonna message 5 more times.
And
then I
of
message
course,
Trafalgar.
of course you hear that.
What the fuck?
Appropriate.
I can tell, can't I, if a message
Yes.
send a message and it's not connected.
Yes, this one finally connected.
I'm gonna send another one immediately after saying thank fuck for that. Where have you been?
You can reply.
Busy.
Hurry up. Brewen's in trouble.
Again? I'll
Yeah.
stop. I'll start walking in that direction. I'm assuming I would be able to find my way to a pub.
Yes. Especially a shady one.
Nice.
Mhm.
And so, as you finish that message with her, what do you send to Trafalgar?
All good upstairs.
You can.
Is-
Question mark.
Have either of the two that I was suspicious of, have they done anything
No.
more?
The one with the... who stared for a moment with his friends, he gets up, gives them a pat on the back and all that, seems to be chummy with them, and they look kind of confused at him for a bit. They kind of give him a nod, wave him off. He walks out the bar. The one who was sat in the corner with the short sword, dagger, like, slammed into the side of the table, just seems to just fall asleep at the table.
It's all good. Nothing's happening.
Just as you finish saying that, you hear the doors open again as the one of them is leaving, and he kind of moves out of the way for a second as you hear the stomping footsteps of steel, and you see those two figures from earlier walk in, who were in the alleyway with you. They kind of talk a little bit. You hear the male go, "Oh, well, I was told this is probably the diviest place in the whole region. I don't know, it kind of looks fine to me. Then again, that's a bit... Oh... well, anyway, I take it to all the best places, don't I, darling? Please don't punch me." And the woman's just like crossing her arms, looking around, and goes, I don't know. I've seen worse shit places. And it's better than those artsy fartsy pants places that your brother usually takes us to. I'll deal. Now come on, let's go get something to drink. And they both walk off over toward the bar, their steel-plated footsteps ringing just a slight bit louder than even some of the drunkards shouting. And they walk over toward the bar.
We hear the footsteps from in the cellar.
Like elephants. Bomb.
You guys kind of hear a little bit of a kind of every now and again. And there's this one little piece of dust that falls from the roof just above all of you when they go overhead to the bar.
I can only reply to message
Yeah.
immediately after she sent it, can't I? Yeah.
I'm gonna turn back to Brewin and say, we've dealt with the magic side of it, the detection. Now we need to deal with the appearance. And I just rub my hands together, just like, what should we do? What should we do?
Everyone at this point
I
is
really
just
wanna do
looking. Everyone at this point is just looking. Just knackered.
He's tired, so we can do what we want now, because he won't protest if we
No,
make him.
I am concerned that he's been hurt from all the slashing.
Oh, do you have any healing?
No, he's the one with healing.
Oh, you can heal
Cut
yourself.
yourself.
I don't think we even have any healing potions or anything, do we?
No,
We should probably buy some. We've got some money now.
we really should buy some.
Mm.
Saying that, wouldn't healing magic undo what has just been done on there?
Yep.
It needs to naturally scar over.
Yep.
Oh, would it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, tough. You're gonna have to deal with it, and I smack him on the back again.
There's a time period between the body naturally restoring, cough cough long rest, and healing magic's effects taking hold. So after about technically 24 hours, healing magic will no longer restore any wounds that you've suffered. It will scar naturally, but it will restore anything you've lost, like blood and whatnot. So you've got to let it naturally scar. Though if you use something like a natural remedy that just revitalizes the body, it won't restore the wound. It will restore you. So you'll still get health. You just don't have to worry about the scarring being reversed.
However, if you were into the pain, you could cut and then heal yourself and then cut again, right?
I mean, yeah.
He did quite enjoy it.
That's your impression at any rate.
How does the disguise kit thing work? Like, is there already? Would I have to have decided what's in there, or?
No. That's just effort. People usually get away with a lot worse with like thieves' tools and all that anyway. So you pretty much got a full cabinet in a box is the idea.
Woohoo!
But as long as you don't go stupid with it.
Oh, so I can't
Like-
make him a one.
You can make a woman. You just can't make
Yeah.
everybody in the party a woman all at once. Is the idea?
Oh, that's fine. So
Connor's gonna
if I
become a
do
woman.
make him a woman, I got very excited about this. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, he might be able to. People might be more suspicious when he starts speaking in a really deep voice.
Oh,
But I'm
yeah.
liking the idea of Connor having to speak like a woman for a whole session.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really fun. So, do I go with the flavour? Or do I go with the practicality of not being caught out?
Can
Yeah,
I
but
be
you
the
need-
voice of reason?
But you also need to think of what you would have in a disguise kit, because realistically, you're not going to have a dress and a wig.
I have a dress.
I was gonna say we both have like spare outfits now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to help you, Connor.
Like I said,
I tried to be a bro, but they've thought out all angles of this. What shoes? You don't have any shoes that will fit in?
that's true.
We can go
Say
buy
that,
some.
but
We're in the high-end district. Oh, we could do Pretty Woman.
Oh my god. I'm thinking more.
Do you want your clothes soaked in his blood? Just wondering.
That's fine by me.
I'm
He's
thinking.
into that.
I'm thinking more Mrs. Doubtfire, to be honest.
Do I have a wig?
Sure,
Yay! Do I have makeup?
sure,
I don't like
definite,
makeup.
I'm
definite.
here as the voice of reason. I'm going for I'm trying to persuade her towards
You do remember
practicality.
I do have a beard.
That's getting
I'm
shaved.
nice.
I'm sure, yeah, shaving exists.
You'll just keep throwing it up there, and I'm like, nope, no, we're doing this. I will
No,
give
no.
Atari a chance to talk me out of it as I'm pulling out the wig and the makeup.
Yes, I am being the voice of reason. I'm like, how about something more discreet? Less extreme.
But he's got
I
such a pretty face.
I do
do love
agree.
the beard.
Getting rid of the beard could be a drastic change, though.
We just both
Sorry.
look at him slowly, just like, a nice shave, perhaps.
So, as the pair of you are dictating the poor man's fate, while he's there, wrestled against the chair in agony, his back still bleeding, you. I'll get back to you on that probably next session at this rate.
Oh no!
So.
I'm gonna send pictures of what I want him to look like.
Oh god. Poor Brewin. Suffering never ends.
Have I made it to the pub yet?
Yes. You just get to the front door. There is no attendant or anything. You kind of look inside through the mirror. Yeah, it looks like a divey trash hole, just as you expected. As you walk in, you look around. As you look around, assuming there's no other plans, Trafalgar, you hear the door go. You look. You see, of course, her.
This is my nightmare.
But you're invisible. You don't have to go to her.
Mm.
No, it's still my nightmare.
So, what do the pair of you do? The two armoured figures still at the bar, both with drinks in hand, just kind of looking around. Someone tries to creep up on the woman, and she very gives him a quick smack in the jaw. The guy goes flying across the floor, and then she continues taking her drink.
I'm gonna walk over and get a drink.
I
Is it
keep
our
just
sexy
waiting.
companions?
Yes. I just keep waiting for the next message, and all I'm replying is, "Don't let Annette look. Don't let Satari drop this invisibility. Don't let Satari drop this invisibility."
We still good, man?
And suddenly,
Every minute.
and
He's like,
suddenly a
I'm
barrel
sorry,
falls and knocks her out of
Brewen's
concentration.
shirtless at this point. How much is my concentration already impaired?
Oh. She's just there struggling between the fine line of magical prominence and oh my god, naked man.
I
Yeah.
did say as well that, my friends just like to watch, and she did watch, so...
I did.
Probably
I
just
did
stood there
watch.
just like, yeah, okay. Okay.
I wasn't into the cutting and the bleeding stuff.
A little bit was. Everyone was.
I'm just gonna go and get a drink and just stand awkwardly by the bar because nobody's told me where to go. You just told me to go to the pub. So I'm just stood in a pub which none of you are in
When
with a drink.
Oh,
So you're sat there at the bar. Those two, like, pretty much to your eye, they look like knightly figures with, like, this fancy armor, like golden with scalage around, like the sides, and it. I mean, it's whatever. You've seen their types before. You just sat
Do
there.
I remember what type of metal my master sword's made out of?
When you looked at it, there was the blade itself was a katana, long thing. Just above the hilt, along the back part of the blade, for about 4 or 5 inches, there is what looked to be kind of similar to scales, but it was more because the metal was extremely folded in the way that if he needed to, and if an enemy was overwhelming him, he could hold the back part of the blade and push them away.
Okay.
But it was a kind of like subtle blue steel.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Are the two people in armor looking in my direction or not? Am I close enough near to them?
Oh yeah, you're like 5 feet space between them.
I'm gonna take my sheathed
Mm-hmm.
sword out and sort of like expose part of it and just turn to one of them and say, "Do you know anywhere I can get this fixed?"
So the woman stood left side. You left to her. She kind of like turns over, looks toward you, places the drink down on the side of the bar, turns, places her arms down, resting against it, and looks at the blade. Kind of leans forward just enough to see, and goes, "Well, that thing's really ruined. What you do to it?"
It's the old family heirloom.
Hmm. Well, something like. Hold on, is that keto steel?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
I think I've only seen about maybe 3 other people with a weapon like that. Well, could always talk to, and then she points to the person behind her, the man. Can always talk to the family Smith. I'd be more than welcome to show you. He's currently sat in one of the complexes we have here.
Ooh.
He's not gonna be very kind on your cost, I'll tell you that much. But we can get it fixed for you.
Kind
Although,
and your cost. How far are we?
well,
How much we talking?
if it wasn't for the fact that I recently married into the family, well, she stands up, kind of like flourishes the chest plate, and you see parts of it where the rib cage is, has the scalage, and she kind of like flashes a part of the steel of her sword, and then sheathes it again. And you notice it seems to have been fused with some kind of dragon hide. Well, if it wasn't for the fact I'm part of the family now, this would have cost me about 30,000 gold. Luckily, it was only about one lifetime of being indebted to this idiot over here. And then you see the male just kind of wave, the golden, like, blonde hair, like, charming smile, but you don't take anything from it. But, yeah, this is high-end stuff. For keto steel, I think he'll probably do you about something in the 10 to 12 mark. But I'll see what I can do if you're really that inclined.
I'll just nod my head and hold up my hand and say, Lycoris Stone. And who are you?
Oh, I assume that means you're orphans. She takes your hand. Kialia, Dayrite. New addition to, well, the Dayrite family. Shakes your hand.
Can I see any blood on her armor?
Now that you're a little bit closer, you do see a part of where the skirt is. There is little spatters of blood there, and just underneath one of the links of her like pauldron, you see a little trail of blood that's led down, that's dried.
I'm just gonna like gesture down to her, to the blood, and say, "Recent battle in Hightown."
She looks down and goes, "Oh, that's disgusting. 1 second." She kind of like licks her thumb and like runs a finger across it, tries to wipe it off. Goes, "Yeah, a couple of those apex filth. They've been getting very, a bit greedy as of late. But keep that to yourself if you don't mind."
I'll just nod and say, "Yeah, I know of them."
Well, if you see any of them and they get a bit too close, feel free to stab them. Although, then
Oh, I
again,
will.
try not to do it in the middle of other people. Make sure you shiv them in the corner somewhere.
I'll try my best. And I'll just sort of make polite conversation with her until somebody I know eventually tells me what the fuck's going on.
Hey, I'm messaging every minute.
So what do you...
Throughout your conversation, you've got, "Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Are you here?"
So after your conversation with her, you just about to start small talk, you get, "Are you here yet?"
I'm just gonna look at her and be like, "Really sorry, 1 second, I'm getting a message." I'm assuming she'll know what that means because she looks pretty educated.
She doesn't seem to react, she just kind of gives a small nod.
Yes, I am here, but apparently you are not. I found some really cool fighters though. They're wearing. I would just describe what they look like.
Hmm.
And I say, oh, and just let Brewin know that the Apex are about somewhere.
Sure. Tell the bartender you are here for the back room, and you've been told to knock 3 times. He'll know what it means.
What?
Smile.
How? What?
The bartender. You're here for the back room, and you've been told to knock 3 times.
Anessa, how is that inconspicuous in any way?
He knows what it means. I've paid him enough gold.
It's not him. I'm gonna like glance at the person next to me and just be like, fine, fine, I'm coming.
She, with a raised eyebrow, just kind of looks and kind of motions to your ear as if to say that person, and then she does a face of like, is she weird?
I'm nodding. Yes, yeah, she's weird. And then I'm just there. Sorry, what was your name again?
Kialia Dayright.
Can you put that in chat? Because there ain't a chance I'm gonna be able to spell that.
Yeah.
I'll just nod and say, I'm gonna be around in
Not how I
Hightown.
spelt it.
I'm gonna be around in Hightown tomorrow. Where's the best place to find you if I wanted to, find out more about this sword possibly getting fixed?
Oh, yeah, that will be a problem actually. I tell you what. We're gonna be running around here tomorrow anyway. So how about we meet here again? I'm not really sure how time works exactly with this. Just meet us here tomorrow. We'll either be here or we won't. I honestly can't give you any better than that at the moment. If
Okay.
not, have you ever been to the Nest?
Have I?
Yes, it is where your mother lives.
I have. Yes.
Well, if you can get there, me and the Mister will meet you there. We sort of live there. Sort of.
Okay. So I'll get my jobs done. I'll pop down here. If you're not here, we'll make our way there.
Okay.
I might have some friends with me if that's all right. They're all very normal, mostly.
She points to her ear for a moment and then makes a smirk.
Somewhat.
Yeah. I'll just give her like it's two Aranea, and 2 humans.
Okay.
So you'll see us coming.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
that's-
hear me coming, and I just gesture to my heavy boots.
Conk, conk, conk. She just lifts a leg up for a moment and just kind of like waves her steel toe around for a second. Yeah.
You're so much nicer to these people. It's not fair.
Networking, dude. Networking.
Actually, hold on. No. Are you possibly going to be in Lowtown?
Yeah. That's. Well, I have acquaintances there I need to check in on.
Well, his brother has a venue there. I don't know if you've heard. They're doing a painting demonstration in Lowtown. They've moved
Oh.
it.
I have an invite.
Yeah. Well, meet me there. We'll have to be there for the entire venue first, but we can introduce you and Goldbert isn't going to be there. He's the smithy, but at the very least we'll show you afterward.
Deal.
She
I'll give a respectful bow, like, as is my way, and then I will take a big sigh and walk towards the bar.
well, get the attention of the bartender.
Yeah, get the attention of the barkeep.
She kind of makes a note and then gives a small salute, full attention, and then turns, and you hear from the male, "What in the hell was that about, darling?" Are you making friends? You just hear a very heavy whoosh, a slap to the side of the head. Just like,
I
ah,
like her.
okay, yep. Sorry, I get it. Nerves. Ah. Yeah, as you get the attention of the barman, he looks you up and down and just goes, "Ugh, yeah. He leans down, opens up the hatch.
I'll give him almost a sympathetic look and just be like, oh, yeah. I'll just go down. I don't
Closes
look comfortable with this at all.
closes the hatch behind you, and as you make your way down, the rest of you hear the sounds of steps, and as the door is opened, you see Lycoris. And just to check, what are you doing, Trafalgar?
I am staying in the bar, keeping an eye out, and making sure them two people leave before I make an appearance again now.
But you're not horrified that Lycoris is stood having a chat with him?
I was. I also had to hide myself laughing out loud when she slapped him around the face.
Yeah.
So, as you head down, you see everyone there. You see Brewin, like, hunched and, like, just exhausted. You can see, like, all the veins in his body have recently, like, it looks almost like he's just been stabbed the fuck. You see blood dripping down from his sides, and his body's all red. And there's those two there just sat waiting, and they see you open the door and you walk in, and how do you all do the do?
See, like Horace thinks she was walking into like a fake secret, like, you know, poorly disguised secret meeting, and she did actually walk into a sex dungeon.
A kink
Yeah, I walk
dungeon.
downstairs and fucking Brewin's lying half naked on the table whilst the other two tower over him touching
I'm on
his
a
chest.
chair,
Right,
He's
you're
on a
lying,
chair,
you're
and I'm
lying
holding
down
it
on a
against
chair,
his head.
half naked.
This one brings out his skin tone, but this one looks quite good with his eyes. So
I'm just saying,
I
yeah.
can't decide.
There's
I still
nothing
want to put him in a
fake.
dress.
There's nothing fake about our, like, you know, ruse. It is happening.
I'm looking. Are there any other exits in there?
Nope. Just one way
I'm
in,
just-
one way out.
I'm just gonna look back at the exit and be like, Anessa, there's only one way in and one way out. So what were you gonna do if people followed you down here?
They wouldn't. They thought we were gonna bang. Ain't no one to see that. Also,
Where's Trafalgar?
Invisible.
he is
Obviously.
looking out. So that's the reason why people follow us down. We'd already know. And by that point, we would be invisible. It's all good.
I'm
I
getting
was gone for a few hours. What happened?
Yes.
What?
You were gone,
We had problems.
and
Okay.
we nearly died.
Are you telling me that that four fully grown adults could not exist without me for 4 hours?
There were 35 of those people.
Well, how did
I'm
you
just
piss off
nodding.
35 people?
They were from the cult that wants Brewin.
Oh, I actually met some people up top that really don't like that cult. They asked me to stab some of them for them.
Oh, cool. But we can go do that now that we've got you.
Yeah, I get the feeling a lot of them weren't doing so great by the blood on the armor, but
Yeah, that was us. That was totally us.
I'm just gonna look at Brewin and be like, I don't think I even want to know what's happening here. When can we leave?
Everyone just looks up, looks almost very tearfully at Lycoris. and
I
just
will.
doesn't say anything.
I will open my bag and I'll pull out a little bit of rations and I'll give them to him and just sort of like
I'm
a very awkward, like, gentle pat on the shoulder, like there.
I will sort of, like quench a little bit and just be like,
It was a very gentle tap on the shoulder.
He
I didn't
consented,
actually want to
okay?
touch you. but
He agreed. It was consensual, okay?
He's fine.
Yeah, just put it into context. I don't know anything that's happened. I've just walked into a basement where you two are towering over a bleeding man.
Yeah, we know.
And I'm
So, do
telling
think
you, it was
that we should-
consensual.
Should we put him in a dress? Or should I just make him look like a man with darker hair for a disguise? Because we need to disguise him, basically.
Just make him look like a man.
Bruin just pokes his head up and just says, "You're aware of the markings on my body." He coughs a little bit,
I really thought she'd be on board with the dress thing.
and he just says, "Well, long story short, if possible, through magical means, it was discovered that people can track me. But I can't stop that, so came across the idea of etching out a couple of words with a knife, and Esatari enjoyed it a little bit too much."
You're getting the wrong girl here.
And then-
Anessa.
Anessa.
and then
Yeah, yeah.
Bruin just lies his head down, just goes, "Anessa, actually."
What?
It was
And
you.
what?
Bruin says, "Anessa, actually."
I'm gonna just look at the both of them and say, when he's like this, how do you expect him to act like a lady?
I am trying to dissuade from the lady side.
If he
Okay.
doesn't act like a lady, then he'll get his ass caught. And I think it'll be the thing. They won't expect him to dress up like a lady, so therefore he should dress up as a lady, and they will never suspect a thing.
Yes,
I
but
still.
What,
And I
What
can
do you
mind
think
him
about the-
illusion, you know, the chest.
what are you gonna do about the beard?
Shave it.
Shave
I
it.
have a knife. I have a small knife and a dagger. You couldn't tell.
I'm
Like
just gonna,
I'm against the lady thing, but I can still agree with the shaving aspect of it.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
look at them and
And I
be
can
like,
even give him nice perfume so that everyone thinks he's a lady.
I'm just gonna look at them and be like, you know, just do whatever you want. I'm going back up top, and I'll just keep an eye out. I don't want to be part of whatever this is.
Okay, well, as long as you're caught up, you know what's going on. Where's find Trafalgar? I think he's still invisible up there. You should probably
Yeah.
come down so we
Oh
can.
yes,
I've already-
I should definitely go into the bar and start looking around for my invisible friend. That sounds like a great idea, and I was just gonna start walking back up the stairs, muttering about how stupid this entire thing is.
That sounds like she's got it under control.
I don't think anyone will notice. Everyone is really drunk.
It's true, they were very drunk when we were in there
Yeah,
before.
they'll be fine. They're probably all talking to invisible friends.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk upstairs and just push the door back open. Still muttering about like what the fuck is even going on.
Oh my god, the barkeep. He's gonna be like, what?
So, as you go to the hatch, you try to push it, it stays solid. You knock 3 times. You hear the door, the hatch is opened up. The barkeep opens up the hatch and looks down at you with a bit of confusion. Not like I'm complaining, but people haven't really come out more so than they've gone down. Anyway, he takes your hand, helps you stand up over, and he locks it behind you.
I'm just gonna look at him and say, I need a strong drink.
No, strongly talking.
Strong. I
I've
went
seen
down-
some shit.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, I just went down there to find out when we were going home, and to just make it seem like it was absolutely horrifying down there.
You say strong drink. You weren't there when we found out the prices.
I just need a strong drink.
You're gonna get shocked.
It needs to be cheap and I just want a strong drink. It doesn't have to be fancy, just something strong.
Alright then. Well, I can always give you the headman's piss.
Edmund's biz.
I'm just gonna
Oh, I love it.
raise an eyebrow and elaborate.
Well, he pulls out this, what's quite literally a circular jug, places it on the table in front of him, and inside of it you see what looks to be a finger that's been pickled, and it's just floating around in this very, very yellowy liquid. Now, give me a minute here. It's very strong. And then he doesn't say anything else, he just waits for you to acknowledge or say something.
Is that a real finger?
If I say yes, will you buy it?
But what's the alcohol?
No, the alcohol is a long pickling process with vodka, whiskey, and some small parts of things I would prefer not to mention, but pickles.
I will narrow my eyes at him. And you're having trouble selling this because
Well, because whenever I mention pickles, people get weird about it.
but are they like tasty pickles, you know, like cucumbers? Or
I
are we
love
talking
pickles.
like I mean I love pickles, but is it actual pickles or is there like eyeball floating in there?
He looks down into the jar, holds it up in front of his face, shakes it around a little bit. All you see is the little finger in the middle, floating around.
Why not?
There we go. Yeah, I'll give you the first one free. And then he pulls up a glass, places it on the side. You see the two warrior types, couple more feet away, stood next to a table, currently talking with one of the other members of the establishment. As he pulls the glass up, he tips some of it in, enough so that only the liquid goes in, then places the jar back underneath, slides the drink to you. And you notice in a smaller container, it has quite a bright yellowy coloration. Do you drink?
Actual piss.
I'm gonna look at him and just say, you peed in this, didn't you?
He glares with that face of, how dare you, disgust.
Is there any piss in this drink?
It's a name. It's 'cause of the colour.
Okay, I'll take a sip.
And as you're taking a sip, he goes, I'm very ethical. I haven't told your friends to clean up after themselves. As you take a drink, it's got a very acrid taste, and it's like fire immediately on the tongue. And as it goes down, it doesn't taste very nice, but as you drink it, you just feel your body start to heat up almost immediately. And you kind of shudder for a moment as the horrible taste goes down, but then as your eyes blink for barely a second, you reopen them. It's like someone's put a filter over your eyes, and then you feel your body instinctively grab on to the counter, and then you look at the glass that's barely even a quarter drank, and you look up at the bartender whose body is like moving left and right. He himself isn't moving a thing. It's like everything's wobbling suddenly. And then you take a moment to take a few breaths and everything returns to normal. And then he looks at you and goes, well, what do you think?
This is like a chemical weapon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay around here. I'll get some more in a bit. If you see a small Aranea male, yeah, if you see one of those, can you just tell him to hurry the fuck up and come and find me, please?
Alright. No, I haven't. There was one in earlier with you and your friends, but no.
Yeah, we
other
lost
than
him.
that.
He just walks off. We lose him sometimes. Yeah, if he comes back, can you send him to me, please?
Alright. Well, where are you gonna be? I'll do whatever.
Is there like a seat free anywhere?
There's a very small handful of single seats available, as well as.
Are they near other people?
Oh yes.
Ew. No, I'm gonna stand apart.
Okay.
Next to your new BFFs.
No, they're having a chat at a table. They left the bar. They're chatting to the upper echelon over at a table, I think.
Yes. And so you, Trafalgar, can see her stood at the table, kind of looking around. Do you continue perusing?
I am still, I'm keeping my distance from Lycoris and from those two. I'm still trying to keep an eye out in case anyone, in case that guy that was asleep with the sword in the table is acting suspicious if he wakes up.
Okay, so a good 30-40 minutes go by. You all entertaining yourselves as you will. That guy that was sleeping on the table wakes up after 20 minutes or so, kind of looks around. It's rubbing sleep from his eye at one point and drinking slowly. He's got what looks to be a small bottle. The doors do go a couple more times, a couple more patrons walk in and out. One of the other shorter haired figures that you kept your eye on walks out as well. He seems pretty much leathered, stumbles out, hits the door on his way out, and he's unconscious for a minute until someone inevitably picks him up and escorts him out. At the 40-minute apex, you hear the door go, and walking in is the actual Romana. And as she walks inside, she looks around, sees Lycoris at the bar, and does a small wave, puts arms behind her back, walks in. You see two armoured gentlemen walk in behind her and stand just enough toward the door that they're not in the way of the door frame, but enough to block it if they need to. She walks to you at the bar, and she doesn't seem like she's holding anything on her person, and she stops 5 feet in front of you, enough to allow people walk past her, or so that she can still hear you and talk. And she pulls out from behind her back a backpack that looks pretty heavy, and she's barely holding onto it, and she walks over, places it gently down beside your feet, and you hear the sounds of a thud, as well as little sparse clinking of coin. For your service to the crown, as well as a few other bits I myself managed to get as reparations. Might I ask where your allies are?
Oh, they've gone to do a job for me nearby.
Okay.
You know, for some reason they don't like me walking around up here.
Up here?
Yeah, I'm better suited in Lowtown.
Oh, you mean, of course. Yes, if I had my way, that would have changed by now, but unfortunately I'm just a lesser lord, or lady even. Well, do give my regards. As well, if you see the young fellow, the one that always wears the cloak, and then you see she looks around the room for a second. She notices the two that you were speaking to, and then she goes, actually, hold that for a moment. Sorry, be right back. She walks over to the pair and stands in front of their line of sight. She does a very small bow to the male figure. The pair stand up, look toward her. They converse for a couple of seconds. She pulls out a small letter and hands it off to the male, and then does another bow, returns back to your side. Anyway, yes, just on behalf of Ghastodn, myself of course included, thank you. If it wasn't for your actions, I would have had to been the one that marched an army to Alden and destroyed it. And that would have been a heavier weight than I can normally bear. If you are on your way back to Alden, do say hello to the quartermaster for me, the captain.
I will. Do you have a message, or
No,
just hello?
just a greeting.
Nod.
She then looks to the barkeep with barely even a gaze, and You hear the sound of a glass touching the counter. She grabs it. You see there's barely a finger length, barely a quarter finger length of drink. She drowns it very quickly, places the glass back down, and then gives you a small head nod and walks away. The two guards follow behind her. And is there anything else that you guys would like to do? Because another hour will go by without any event.
I will pick up the bag and just put it on my back, for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm. You are very strong, as you need to be, but this bag is hefty as fuck. There is numerous, what feel like small parcels or little pouches on the inside of this backpack. And along the sides of it, there is what looks to be kind of like bottle bags with some kind of additional something in it, like cylindrical.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to put it on the ground beneath my feet, so if anyone tries to get to it, I can just kick them straight.
Okay. And so, an hour goes by total. 20 minutes after she arrives. What are you lot doing downstairs?
I would like to have decided on a disguise for Brewin. And I'm
Poor
going
guy.
to, with some convincing, try and persuade him to see if I can shave his beard.
Mhm.
I found a very nice wig that I can use for him. I was thinking maybe we
Are you
could go-
still trying for a lady appearance?
No,
or
no,
what?
no. I'm just
Okay.
going for a gentleman.
Okay, now I'll assist you in your persuading then.
Thank you. Is there any resistance from Brewin? Do we have to roll for it?
Right, so the thing's being resisted at the moment. Firstly, on the case of Brewin, how willing is he for the beard to be cut?
I wouldn't say he's extreme. Well, you can't really tell. He's just fucking tired, isn't he?
We
So,
can roll for it if you want.
I was going to say, physically, they can overpower you, no problem at the moment. It's more,
So
Are you-
I will buckle if you show emotional,
I will.
it's more it's more for the sake of how much effort do they have to put into telling you this needs to be done. So, do they need to do a check?
Not very much, no.
Okay.
They just say about the shaving of the beard.
Okay, so
Brewen will just say, well, you can tell he's tired because normally he's quite restrained about himself. You just uncharacteristically just say, I do like the beard.
A goatee.
No, you have no.
Which
Let's
you just hear him say, do what you see is fit.
Short shave, I suggest to Anessa.
You mean not a clean shave?
Not
I'll
a clean
do
shave.
it so he's got some stubble.
okay.
It might make the blow easier to take.
So
Stubble is also colour.
so you give him
I'll
a
have to match the wig.
give him a shave, and as the hair is cleared away, despite the kind of like rugged, like slightly damaged over time general appearance he has obviously lived a bit of a life of harshness. You see a few little scrapes and bruises, maybe a scar underneath the chin when the hair's cleared away, but similar to every man, he suddenly looks a lot younger. And Connor, how would you look without a beard?
You baby Brewin.
One second, I'm just trying to think. That's not gonna lie. I was not prepared for well. But he looks like a 38-year-old. Well, ASMR tend to age quite older, but I'm gonna say he looks fairly young.
So he looks kind of like if a middle-aged man that was in a life crisis and had a really long shaggy beard suddenly chopped off the beard and had just what looks to be the most almost like porn style level of features. It just goes from like this, oh, he's just the bum on the street, to suddenly it's just like a king in the streets. It's like, oh, hello, ladies.
So
And
basically, it's a queer eye. It's a queer
Yes.
eye makeover.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. And I
just
was
with a
gonna say that
shave.
I'm gonna go in with like the makeup and stuff as well to like sort of change the contour of his face and things too.
Mm.
So like slim down on his nose and things, like carve out those cheekbones and just make his face look generally
It really is a queer eye
pretty
moment.
different. And then I'm gonna tie all his hair up with a ribbon,
Mm.
and then I'm gonna put the wig over the top, and I'm gonna make sure that the wig's not too dark, so it looks weird with the stubble. But I think the stubble should be quite dark, shouldn't it? I know he's like got blondish hair, but
And what sort of wig are you putting?
girl, no, I'm not. I don't know, one that doesn't look like your hair. I'm going from the picture here. It's quite long, so I'm gonna do like a sort of short brown, like light brown shaggy wig kind of thing, like something that you wouldn't normally. Oh, you're gonna look like a little emo boy. Like a fringe, so some part of your face is covered too.
You're gonna look like Gerard Way.
Yes,
She's just breaking you into
yes.
the ideal man.
Yeah.
So, question.
Yeah, your hair's tied up and stuff.
Question, because obviously he's got an outfit to change that now, so you can't see the tats anymore. But because he's been associated with the outfit, what are you guys doing with the outfit?
Burn it. No.
Oh.
I'll put it in my bag.
Just getting naked.
Yeah.
Or you could just keep the shirt on him after his wound's healed. Just have the shirt and just have sort of like a robe over.
Mhm.
Shirt
Yeah.
and pantsless. That's how I like it.
I've got some robes and things in my bag, so I can use that so that the blood doesn't seep through into the shirt.
If it helps, I have some dark common clothes in my bag.
I've got a hooded cloak, fine clothes, which will fit in better with the place, won't they?
Yeah.
I'll give him my cloak anyway, so it doesn't matter what he's wearing underneath. Really, can use the top, and at least people can't see all the shit we script out of his back.
Mm.
And he
Okay.
looks completely different. Do I have to roll for my disguise kit to see how good it is?
This will be more for how well you place the wig, which can be adjusted, but how well you do the makeup and
Yeah.
cover him up.
Convincing it is.
Yeah.
Do I roll for each one?
No,
Or
it'll be a
just
single
general?
thing. So,
It'd be cool if I like expertly did the wig and then the makeup fucked up. Right, okay, pray for me, guys.
I mean, if
A
you
really
want to,
Amateur drag.
if you want to do it that way, feel free. But it will be
I
separate
clicked it.
roles.
And it will be more difficult.
17.
Mm.
Nice.
Okay, that's the hair.
You're not doing it all individually.
Time for the
And
makeup.
the makeup.
Oh.
20.
Oh.
Makeup is on point.
Oh.
Yes, I got those eyebrows on a fleek, bitch. I wish I did my makeup this good. I'm like, oh, looks so much better than me. Just plucking his eyebrows like, He'd make such a pretty woman. You see, if this was a woman, he would pass instantly. Should let me do the woman. Is there anything else we can roll for? Oh, how well I did. Weird. I'm just making my own ones.
So, you
How well I
place.
did the beard.
You.
17.
Oh,
Oh, he looks
God.
good.
So head to toe, he actually does look like a different person. Like when you shave the beard, he went from hobo to oh yes, and then you did the hair, and at first for a moment you're thinking, oh, no, I don't really like it, and then you did the makeup, and it's like, oh yes, I am so good. Why am I not just? Why do I not do this for a living?
Do this full time.
Fuck this spell scroll shit. This it's just art.
How's,
And then-
how's Atari feeling? Any feelings coming up to the surface?
I am blushing. I'm not making direct eye contact.
Very, very, very hot around the face. You don't really know why. It's strange.
Yeah. I don't understand. You know, it's just a bit of a cum.
And so we have her hot man. Give him a little bit of a clean up with the scarring, a little bits of dirt and blood, and yeah, when he's
You should just
able,
stay like this.
ooh, when he's able to stand up again and make a macho pose, he will be a man that you all fall for.
Oh my god, he's gonna walk out a different person and he's not gonna be able to walk right.
Mhm.
And this bartender is gonna be like, what?
No, I was already thinking that he went down invisible. He's only seen like you come down
Yes.
here, then me come down here, and then like Horace come down here and she went back up. So I think we should make him invisible to come back out.
Okay, well I've got one spell slot left of that. Do you have?
I have it as well.
Just
So
curious, how did
okay.
you say you've done the shaving?
I got a
I've got
17. It's like stubble, yeah.
So stubbly. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you looking for a new
picture?
picture?
Trying to
You
see
know-
if I can find the picture in relation.
I was
to
looking for a picture too.
Okay.
I can
Changing your
think of a picture that
token.
will work.
Well, put it this way: it's got to be a hot brown-haired, stubbly boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got,
looking for
I've
one,
got,
but
I've
you
got
will
one of those saved.
I am honestly not surprised.
Just to have on hand.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, no, I've seen her pornfolio. Like, the amount of tieflings, sexy tieflings she has.
Oh, yes. I love a sexy tiefling.
Yeah. So you guys make an art experiment out of poor little Brewin, but you make him sexy. So it all works
Yeah.
out in the end.
This one's
And-
pretty cool.
I will ask now for future reference. I will ask for reference for next week. What are you guys doing next? As you'll have, to a degree, enough time. You have roughly about another hour or two before the bartender will probably get a bit weirded out and push you out. You can't use that. I've already used it.
God
yeah, we
damn
use
it.
that one. But look at this one. Yeah, that looks okay.
So we model it after someone we've already seen.
Oh, I've got one. You'll like this,
Oh.
Chloe. You'll enjoy this one.
I found this one. I'm enjoying this one.
There you go.
Oh yeah, okay.
I
like
mean,
that one.
these all do have the brooding quality that
Oh,
really
yeah.
do have.
I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah.
one.
It's posted with the
I
right-
think this
with the right
one's
shirt.
probably the most realistic.
Alright.
Ooh, yes. I like that too. He's just gonna look hot, basically. I'm just designing like my ideal.
Oh no, 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 no! I found it! I found it! I found it! I found it! This one's got a cloak on. This one's got a cloak on. It's perfect.
No. Connor, pick your new picture, I guess.
Oh yes.
Okay.
They're
well,
all good.
this will be session.
Yeah.
This is fucking quarter past.
I'm getting up early for work tomorrow, so yes.
A to Z. You guys do all of that. You get all made up and pretty as a princess. We'll
Could
see.
have been as pretty as a princess.
We'll see where we go next week. You can decide then on that point, but think of it in between. Yeah, that's kind of it. There's no dramatic ending or anything. You guys have sort of resolved all that. I will say, congratulations, everybody. You managed to escape an encounter that was going to be fucking horrifying. So, good job on you
That's
all.
why we left.
And we're both here with our invisibility.
Oh, yeah, bitch.
The last one I posted is incredible.
But
Megan
you gave him stubble, so.
Megan has an inspiration point still floating.
Oh yes.
So, if you want to give it to whomsoever used it today, you can, or you can use it now for a question.
I don't. I'm still, confused by inspiration because like last time Rachel had it, but she already had it, so she gave it to me. So
The
I don't know.
how it
I
works.
used my inspiration today, but if you want to ask a question, it's all good.
You can have up to 2 maximum, only because if you already had inspiration and you recapped, you get another one. If you don't use that inspiration by the end of the session, or you don't give it to someone else, you lose that extra inspiration. Anyone can only have 1 inspiration, otherwise.
Does anyone have an important question they feel they need to ask?
What was Romana going to tell Lycoris about the one in the cloak before she got distracted by the famous knightly people?
Yeah.
Good question, actually.
Is that all agreed?
Sure.
I
Yeah.
won't know because it's Spain, right?
Well, she had a letter for the male of the two. It seemed like she was searching for Trafalgar and was going to give that letter to him, but instead gave it to that other guy.
Oh,
Who knows?
that's weird. Are you a secret noble too?
Whoa.
It's very secret in his case.
Technically speaking, sort of. There's nothing that decreed him as a noble, except for the fact he was in Hightown in armor.
She told me that she'd married into a lesser noble family, didn't she?
No. Romana
No.
was a lesser lord.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting confused.
Kalia said she just got married into the family. Nothing about nobility, I don't think.
She has a very expensive
Interesting.
smithy family friend.
Nice. That would have required a lot of
Yeah.
makeup.
Like, he would literally have been caked in the shit.
That's
That
what-
jawline.
It rolled so well, it would have worked.
Imagine that.
The wig would require to be something astounding.
Oh, yeah.
And I still like the idea of, that face speaking with
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
There you go.
now we're talking.
You know? No. I've got a good example. Connor would have been, like, he would have looked kind of like an elf, where they've got that weird androgyny. That's how it would have
Yeah.
looked. And you're just there like, wait, is that... I don't want to ask. I think?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with asking people what race they are. I've done that.
Well, I was talking about gender, but yeah, that too.
Yeah, there's no difference. I'll ask. I'll ask. Fine. If you want someone to ask, I'll do it. Got no shame.
And then they speak with a deep, gravelly voice.
Yeah, hello, I'm Dave.
And I agree.
Oh,
What are your pronouns, Dave?
it is Dave and Dave.
Oh, nice. Okay, Dave. Guys, this is Dave.
They,
Oh, I like the spelling.
Alright, I need to go to bed.
Yes.
Night night.
See
Good
you
night,
later.
friendos.
Hey,
Any questions, send them to me as usual.
bye. Bye.
Bye.